Welcome to day 1 of 3.7 absolute value equations and inequalities. Day 1 we'll be focusing on equations, and day 2 we will be focusing on inequalities. So let's begin by addressing this question. How can we solve absolute value equations and inequalities? The first step is that we're going to isolate the absolute value expression if necessary. Remember, isolate just means getting the equation or expression by itself. That's what isolate means. That's step 1, and step 2 is write an equivalent pair of linear equations or inequalities, aka simplify as much as possible. Example 1, what are the solutions of absolute value of x plus 2 equals 9? Well, in step 1, you just wrote in your first bullet point that we need to isolate the expression, the absolute value expression. This is the absolute value expression right there. So we need to get it all by itself on the left side. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides, opposite operations. Absolute value of x equals 7. So now let's think to ourselves, what numbers can we plug in for x to give us positive 7 as an answer after we use the absolute value symbols? And the two numbers that work are positive 7 or negative 7. When you put a positive 7 into the absolute value, you get out a positive 7, and when you put a negative 7 into the absolute value, you get out a positive 7. Remember, the absolute value symbols keep things positive or make things positive. By definition of absolute value, it is about the distance from 0 on the number line. So let's go to the number line now. Label by 2's. And we're going to plot the points negative 7 and positive 7. And as you can see on this number line, those two numbers are 7 units from 0. Both of them are, but just in different directions. And now I'd like to show you the checking process on the right side. It's a very nice, simple process. You've done this before. Plug the answer in for the original. So absolute value of 7 plus 2 equals 9. Absolute value of 7 is 7. 7 plus 2 equals 9. Yes, that works. Now let's plug in negative 7. Positive 7 plus 2 equals 9. Yes. So it worked out. We're done. Example 2 is an application problem. Starting from 100 feet away, your friend skates towards you and then passes you by. She skates at a constant speed of 20 feet per second. Her distance d from you in feet after t seconds is given by the equation d equals absolute value of 100 minus 20t. At what times is she 40 feet from you? So right here, this is the distance. d equals 40. So take a look at the equation. There's a d right here. We can plug 40 in for that d. Okay, and now, absolute value. In order to get rid of those symbols, we need to consider the positive 40 and the negative 40. So what this is saying is this expression right here is 40 units away from 0. That means you can have a positive 40 or a negative 40. Now we're getting rid of those symbols. And now we're just going to do our usual opposite operations to get t by itself. So minus 100 from both sides. You get negative 60 on the left. Divide by negative 20. And you get t equals 3. Now let's try the other one. Minus 100. Negative 140 equals negative 20t. Divide both sides by negative 20. And you get 7. So that means that your friend passed you by at 3 seconds and 7 seconds. So box that, circle it, and then above, let's see, answer C is the solution. Remember that absolute value represents the distance from 0 on a number line. That's what I just said. Distance from 0 on the number line. Also remember that distance is always non-negative. And I put this on your note sheet. Non-negative means 0 or a positive number. Not negative. So the options are 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. going on. And then lastly, so any equation that states the absolute value of an expression is negative has no solution. If you get the absolute value by itself equal to a negative number, there is absolutely no solution because absolute value is going to make something positive. There's no way that an absolute value expression can equal a negative number. So maybe we'll encounter that in this next example. So let's take a look at this expression, and we need to get the z by itself. So first of all, let's get rid of the 12. Bring it to the other side. 3, absolute value 2z plus 9 is equal to negative 2. Divide both sides by 3 because we're getting rid of that 3 in front. And now we have 2z plus 9, negative 2/3. The reason why we divided by 3 was because that 3 in front is multiplying the expression, the absolute value expression, just in case you were wondering. And now take a look at this. Absolute value is all by itself over there. It's equal to a negative number. That's not possible. So the absolute value of an expression cannot be negative, so there is no solution. I'm going to write that down, and you can too. Okay, there's the conclusion sentence stating our answer. There's no solution. You can try the lesson check right now, or you can wait until we do similar problems together during class.